Ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Washington football team. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
2nd and 8. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now here's Ross. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now Goff. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. 7 yards, the pickup there. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. On 1st and 10, Goff. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally, you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And he's got this down to the 35.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they were going to have to slow him down on passes just like this, because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Goff. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one as a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy. And that's what they're doing early in this game.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Now a give to Madison. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Madison. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Second and 7. A give. This is Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They will run with White out of the shotgun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jackson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Ross on the return. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
When the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Gone. Complete. Smith has it. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On first down, it's gone. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Here's 2nd and 10. Goff now to throw. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, Goff. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
Second and 10. Here's Goff. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. The 20. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. So that about the shortest pass a quarterback can make, but it winds up going for a bundle.
Yeah, let's face it, in the stats, it sure looks like a heck of a throw, doesn't it? It's almost like in baseball when you get that little Texas leaguer that turns into a double. You would think that you hit it off the wall. Big time play for him on a short little pass.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Cook, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's a give to Gibson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A nice performance last week. Recognized as NFC Player of the Week after going over 100 yards rushing. I just love the vision. I love the wiggle he has, but I also love the power when he ends his runs.
That's what impressed me. Yes, there was some elusiveness last week. A couple times he just ran over guys. They go play action now. Jackson slings this deep from McLaurin. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A huge play there for Washington. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Washington with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll run with Gibson. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. One more time with Gibson. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. White. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And Washington has made this a one-score game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. To throw is Goff. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Goff on first down. And this one complete to Smith. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Goff now looking to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Goff throwing again. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Give to Cook out of the gun. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Goff. Pass incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Goff. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw is Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Washington on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Washington on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They go play action with Jackson. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Jackson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Play action. Now Jackson. Slings this deep from McLaurin. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On second down, Cook. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
Now a first down throw. Goff. That's complete to Slayton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On first down, Goff. He's got Smith here. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again on second down. Goff. Catch made by Slayton. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 23.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Second down at 4. From the gun, here's Goff. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. To the air again. Goff. That's complete to his running back, Jefferson. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Goff. His pass caught at the 4. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Goff. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Now Goff. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown Vikings. Adam Thielen as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. With the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they'll take over with just 18 ticks remaining. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Jackson to throw. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end of the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll run with Madison. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On the handoff, it's Madison. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Going to run with Madison again. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Hopkins' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. A give running right, Gibson. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On the draw, it's Gibson. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Now a give to Madison.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Now a run with Cook, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. A give. This is Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook taking it in from the 20. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point good by Hopkins, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's the backup, Jacoby Brissett. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Here's Brissett. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Handoff comes to Cook. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 116 yards on the ground for him now with 4 touchdown runs tacked on. Here's Madison running on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Another carry now for Madison. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Vikings send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Brissett on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Brissett. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Washington on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. And he fends him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And it's fielded at the 34. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Goff. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Daron Payne coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. Too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Out there setting ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Throwing, Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Washington on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 6. Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. Under pressure, and down he goes. Danielle Hunter, his 2nd sack of the night. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Coming up on 2nd and 7. They run it again with Cook. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. Room here to run. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 153 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run. Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. On the carry, it's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Vikings are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 8 coming up. Jackson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Washington on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. To throw is Brissett. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball, that things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And now they'll have a few extra days here before. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.